if we give it a few minutes for other people to join. I'm just going to put you on mute now, but we are recording. Thank you. Hi, we thank you for joining us. But before we dive in, I'd like to explain a few things about our webinar platform. As attendees, you are in listen-only mode. However, to engage with us, please use the on-screen panel and use the question or chat tabs to pose your questions. We expect the webinar to be very popular, and we will do our best to answer your questions. After the webinar, we will provide you with a copy of the recorded slides and a fact sheet to address any unanswered questions. So if we look at the agenda today, we're going to be talking about Emma Mackay, the industry manager, will be looking at the update for you, and also our COVID CPD. And then I will take over and talk you through the qualification update, the traineeships, and we have a great guest speaker tonight. That is Robert Russo from the AHT, and then I'll go through all the support with you. So here we are. So here's Emma Mackay, your industry manager for hair and beauty. She's also industry manager for retail and creative. And if you need to catch Emma, this is the email address and mobile for her. For myself as her technical advisor, that's my email address and telephone number if you need to get hold of me. So now I would like to pass over to Emma, your industry manager, to talk about the latest updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Emma Mackay and I'm the industry manager here at City & Guilds for hair, beauty, retail and creative. I'm going to apologise in advance. It's that time of day when my husband's due home, son's home and the dog will start barking. So please, as I'm sure many of us are at the moment, working at home has its challenges. So please bear with me when they all return. So Sarah, if you want to flick on to my first slide. So what have we been up to the last few months? A high proportion of our time has been working very closely with a number of professional associations from across the hair and beauty industries, also our regulators such as Ofqual, to really try and look at ways in which we can reward achievements throughout this period of COVID crisis. The Department for Education were incredibly keen to reward achievement where achievement is due. This by all means has not been an opportunity to purely certificate as many learners as possible. It very much is about recognising what has been done, what knowledge and understanding it can be evidenced, and making those certifications where possible. So we had a lot of work around VRQs and MVQs, which I know Sarah's going to talk you through a little bit later on this morning. We also have been working incredibly closely with our colleagues at other awarding organisations and endpoint assessment organisations around endpoint assessment flexibilities. So as we knew or know for the hair and beauty industries, we did have a full delay mitigation in place for quite a few months due to the necessary face-to-face observations that needed to take place. As the lockdown started to ease in different parts of the country and different also sort of cities and regions as well across the country, we've been able to start to return to some form of business as normal, business as usual activity. We are continuing to work with Ofqual and iFates around what we're going to do for the next academic year. And again, Sarah is going to touch on that a little bit later on this morning, or this afternoon now. Apprenticeship standards, that's been something that has been a moving feast as well over the last few months. We saw the launch of the level 3, so the Advanced Creative Hair Professional Standard, our on-programme offer. As you know, there's no mandatory qualification for the Advanced Creative Hair Professional. However, you as our customers, many of you asked for us to produce something that could be used as an on-programme tool to help your apprentices work towards their endpoint assessment. So that went live. We are busy behind the scenes developing our endpoint assessment offer for this standard as well. There is some delay with that, as I'm sure you can appreciate, due to furloughing of staff, annual leave, and all of those sorts of things that have been happening over the last few months. But watch this space. We've got some more meetings actually internally next week coming up to review dates and prices and all of those sorts of things. We saw at the beginning of July returning to business as usual for the hair professional EPA, and then obviously towards the latter parts of July for the beauty therapist and barbering. This is predominantly for England only, and we are aware, obviously due to local lockdowns, there are some restrictions still in place. So to summarise, really, continuing to work tirelessly with other awarding organisations, professional associations and endpoint assessment organisations to really do our best in terms of those learners who have been stuck in their learning journey as part of the COVID crisis, and also supporting you moving forward. And Sarah's going to touch on all of those points when she picks it up in a few slides' time. Industry-wise, we hosted our hair and barbering industry advisory board meetings a couple of weeks ago. We had beauty actually at the beginning of this week. So we spent a lot of our time working with small, medium and large employers from across the industry areas. Again, not just on an education stance, but also what can we do to help boost the economy in terms of the industry? How can we support people getting back into the workplace? And also encouraging people to join the workforces within the hair and beauty industries as well. Okay. So one of the places you'll be able to find some detail around who comprises our industry advisory boards are on our web pages. I know that Sarah does share these with you all on a regular basis, in particularly during the induction period. I know myself, when I was managing in college, this was one of the go-to places to try and help to inspire some sort of people joining the hair and beauty industries on their chosen journeys, really, as in, you know, where could they work, who could they work with, and who are the people or the employers or the organisations who have helped to develop and put together their qualifications that they're studying. So on our industry advisory board pages, you'll be able to find some photographs, biographies, logos, links to different web pages. So please do feel free to take a look yourselves and also share with your teams in your place of work, but also with your learners and your apprentices to really help them to understand how their programs of study have come together. So one of the other things that we were asked over the last few months on a number of occasions was very much around what can City and Guilds do to try to support as much as possible everybody within the hair and beauty industries predominantly, but also across any industry whatsoever in returning to the workplace and staying safe within the COVID crisis period. So we worked together and we put together a proposal for a free City and Guilds online course. So this free City and Guilds online course is all around how to return to the workplace and how to stay safe with relation to COVID, following the government guidelines. So you will see on this slide, there's a link to our website. Now, at the moment, the course is accessible via our website directly. However, we are looking at moving its position, where it actually sits and where it's hosted, purely because we have been inundated with thousands and thousands of people accessing the course itself, which is fantastic. On successful completion of the course, you are awarded a digital credential, which is the circular badge you can see there on the screen. Now, this is something that is easily shared across social media platforms, on email signatures and things like that. But you are also able to download a PDF certificate of completion. So as we know, a lot of people, predominantly within the hair and beauty industries, do still like to print off a certificate and have that paper-based certificate on completion. So that's also available for you. So the free course is an e-learning course. It helps to support learning of COVID-19. It's for anybody and anyone within any industry. So this can be completed by lecturers, assessors, quality members of staff, finance members of staff, to therapists, hairdressers, bricklayers, dentists, whoever it might be. Absolutely open to all, and it's a great short course that provides you with a little bit of CPD, and helps everybody to understand the rules, regulations, and how to stay safe really within their individual places of work. So that's available for you. I know Sarah is going to go through a wealth of information around our qualification offers, what's hot, what's not, what's happening, what's changing, what support we can offer you. But as always, if you've got any questions, anything you'd like to seek further information about, please do contact Sarah or myself. We are both still working at home, and we are absolutely itching to get back on the road and come and see lots of you face to face. But it's an absolute pleasure to be able to communicate with you all virtually still at this time. But if you have any questions and queries, please do reach out. I'm attending weekly meetings with Ofqual and IFATE around what's going to happen for the next academic year, which obviously is starting now. As soon as we hear anything, we're able to share anything that's been approved or agreed, we will let you know. And I know that Sarah is going to touch base on that in a few slides time. So thank you, enjoy Sarah's presentation, and we will be in touch very soon.
Oh, well, I'd like to thank Emma for sharing our update, the update for the industry. She's very, very busy. You know, I don't know how she does it, but she's got a head in everything with trying to get information to me to give to you. So, yeah, thank you, Emma, so much for that update with you know, our primary focus, the COVID badge, which has been so successful, and you know, our industry board. And the industry board, we couldn't do it without them. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to talk to you now about a qualification update. And if you are around at the beginning of the year, Emma and I did our curriculum planning. We planned to do our curriculum planning meetings. We actually did a couple of them, but then we went down into lockdown. So I'm going to go through some of the qualifications that have changed really for you guys. So we know our portfolio. If you hit on this link at the bottom, City and Guilds Hair and Beauty, Rules of Combination, that will take you right to the key documents page that will take you to the Rules of Combination. And really our portfolio is solely focused on helping people into a job, on the job, and into the next job. That's just a small slide there with lots of links to help you get to the qualifications that you might want to look at moving forward within this academic year. So then we look at what's changed. So last year in August, and this is where the curriculum planning meeting, when we started that at the beginning of the year, was to reinforce to centres, providers that as of August last year, we were informed by the DFE and the ESFA that level 3 and below existing legacy qualifications will cease to have any funding for 16 to 18, 19 plus and 24 plus learners, including adult loans. And that was from August this year. So we need to go back to that and just to say, we need to really have a look at this and what qualifications were impacted. City and Guilds, we have been so lucky, and I think I was not around then, but we had technical advisors who made sure that they changed lots of, and that's my little dog, sorry, lots of technical advisors who changed the names of certain qualifications, which means that our legacy qualifications that we will lose are the level 3 diploma in nail technology, and you can see that one there, it's 300372. Also the level 3 in barbering, that's 300231, and also our complementary therapies, which is 760731. It shouldn't have moved, sorry. So what we have here are the impacted qualifications and the alternatives we have for you. So the certificate in nail structures, that you could take that from the diploma in nail technology. You could also do the MVQ 300759, which probably now is an 09 on the rules on the walled garden, or the advanced nail technology for the technicals, which is 600332. For the barbering, again, we have our 600805, which is a fabulous qualification, which is a really good diploma for our barberers out there. But we also have our technical qualification, 600230. Now, with the complementary therapies, we have our advanced technical diploma in comp therapies, and that is 600430. So if you go onto those pages on our website in the little search column, you will be able to get some more information. So now we are on our mitigation for the technical qualifications during. Oh, that is the wrong slide. I do apologise. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. So we're now on the, I just thought I'd missed a few slides out, but I haven't. So we're now on slide 13. Sorry about that. It's very difficult when you're working from home on your own, trying to go through slides, and when your dog starts barking. I do apologise. So if you look at this slide, as part of City and Guilds' response to the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are offering an autumn assessment window for our technical qualifications. And this includes a theory exam, a synoptic assignment, and any other centre assessed components for the qualification. So the autumn series is only available for students who were due to sit the assessments in summer of 2020 and either received a centre assessment grade, that's what we call a CAG, result, that they were not satisfied with the outcome, or didn't receive a CAG result, which is a centre assessment grade, due to there being insufficient evidence. It's not an additional assessment series for students enrolled for the spring and summer 21 assessments. So you can see that in red on the screen here. This is really for our learners, you know, who have failed and they need to move forward, or they're not happy with the assessments. We have put the dates up for you, and that is on our welcome pack. It's all over our internet, our website. And obviously level 3, the exam series will start on the 19th of October and end on the 23rd, and you will get your results on the 16th of December. For level 2, the exam series starts on the 9th of November. It completes on the 13th of November, and you will get your results in January of 2021. That's the 20th. Now the deadline for booking eligible students for the autumn series is the 11th of September, which doesn't give you much time. But I want you to really try and think about that one and get everybody, you know, that you need to get on that as soon as possible. But also, it's only a paper exam for this autumn series. The timetable for the documents will be published on the resources and support page, which you can see you've got a link there for. Again, the synoptic and other centre assessment components for autumn 2020, you know, centres must book eligible students via the walled garden by the 11th of September. I have put a link at the bottom of the page, of this slide, sorry, to take you to the technical page. Now, the synoptic assignments are either and other assessment components for this year. And as I said, I'm going to reiterate this because it's really important. The 11th of September is a really important date for us. So students will complete this synoptic assessment and other centre assessment components where they have completed some or parts of the assignment prior to lockdown. So the work can be used, because I'm getting quite a lot of people coming back and saying to me, well, can this be used? Can that be used? Yes, it can. That work can be used. But any outstanding components must be completed before the submission deadline. So again, I'm getting centres coming back saying there's a certain learner that won't meet that 30th of September deadline, or, well, then that is, we have to look at that separately. But the deadline is the 30th of September. The synoptic assignments or assessments are actually centred assessed components. The outstanding practical components must be completed as the published government guidelines. That is so important. We've got to think about social distancing, all the rest of it you've got to take into consideration. All these grades must be submitted. But I would say refer to the marking and moderation guide here as well, because I think that's going to be really important for you. Our new welcome pack that's out there, that all the dates are on there, and again, that is a really important document for you to really look at, scrutinise. I've been on having quite a few team meetings with centres who have not looked at the welcome pack, but that pack will give you the information that you need for the technical qualifications moving forward. And if you go to the cityandguilds.com COVID-19 mitigation approaches, you will find the packs there. But if you go to the technicals, you'll also find everything that you need there. So now we are going to our mitigation approaches for VRQs and MVQs for COVID-19. And again, this is just a reminder for you guys that the submission dates and deadlines have to be adhered to. So your intention form should have been into our adaptation quality at cityandguilds.com by the 31st of this year. And again, as I'm saying, you must submit all evidence by the 30th of September. What will happen is from June this year, you will be receiving probably notices or emails from your EQA or moderator just to check quality assurance activities. Everything here will be remote. But all guidance documents can be found on the City and Guilds mitigation pages. And there is a really, really good quality assurance document there. It's only about 5 pages, but it really is a good read. So here we go again, the landscape. Well, we have been working together, well, Emma more than anything, your industry manager. She's been working with AOs and EPAOs to agree and implement the apprenticeship on programme and endpoint assessment flexibilities where necessary. I mean, she really is working very hard on this. So EPAOs were asked to ensure that the new rules are applied to suit local circumstances, promoting minimal change where necessary. So that is amazing. So we're really, really happy with that. And Emma is, as she said earlier, you know, yesterday we had a webinar and she had to leave early to attend one of these meetings. We do play a massive part at the table with these, with the flexibilities, and we just hope that we do you justice on this. But I want to go through the contingency arrangements for next year, 2021. As I said, please look at the welcome pack. It's really, really important. You need, there's some really good key dates on this pack, and it's on page 4. And I would suggest anybody who's delivering technicals is you would definitely print that off and put it at the front of your file if you're still on paper, or you make sure that it isn't prominent on your desktop. So on page 4, it gives you so much guidance, support, it gives you the key dates, but moving forward, you get guidance, support, curriculum plans, exam guides, resources. There is so much information on the technical page for you under resources and support. What I would like to go through now with you is the technical qualifications extension window for completion and submission of evidence for the synoptic assignments this year. So to enable centres to plan effectively and deliver the synoptic assignments for 2021, the window for submission of the assessments has been extended and staggered for level 2 and 3 for the technical qualifications, which is, we've really thought about this. We've thought about how you can plan everything, you know, every eventuality. We've had massive teams out there thinking and what we can do. So we've decided to stagger the level 2 and level 3. We've done it because of this social distancing. As it continues, it could get, you know, worse. You know, we could have national or local lockdowns. So we've thought about everything, like extra time to accommodate smaller groups. Like I said, staggered cohorts. We just want you, it's ongoing. We don't know the outcome. You know, anything I would say to you would be a double guess. So we also have suggested types of activities for employer involvement. And I've been asked that today quite a few times. Well, what we're supposed to do? We're on lockdown, Sarah, you know, in Leicester or in Bolton or wherever. What we're supposed to do is employer involvement. Well, on your welcome pack, which is a wealth of knowledge, you know, you've got all your suggested activities there. So we say what's meaningful and what's not meaningful. And to achieve the qualification, we're looking at what we can do to help you move that forward. So for this, only this academic year, so the following types of employer involvement activities, they can be utilised to help centres, you guys and the learners, you know, get much more out of being locked down, if you like, because you're not going to get the experience of maybe going to, which we're going to talk about later, competitions or wholesalers or to exhibitions. So how can we get this information? You know, how can you give them that quality employer involvement? So we've put a few things together in the welcome pack, like demonstrations by professionals on virtual platforms, assess professional association forums, which is a very good idea. Again, they may work in their own family business and they might have some like a farm or in a salon, you know. So really look at what the sector's got and what could they bring back to the job. Virtual tours of local employers or workplaces, discussions with employers and sharing resources with other centres. But the thing is as well, you know, I've had quite a few centres ask me if I could do like, could come into their induction and talk to their new cohorts and inspire them. So yeah, of course I can. So again, what I'd like to offer is I can do that as a bit of a 5-minute webinar for your learners, or I can actually come into a Teams meeting or a Skype meeting or a Zoom meeting and actually welcome them on board and tell them, you know, give them my career. And we've got lots of people that help on that space. So if we look at the synoptic assignment window for the level 3, oh no, I've actually missed one. So the synoptic assignment window opens. So this is now going to be 4 weeks early, really. So we normally open at the beginning of February. We are opening on the 4th of January, 2021. So it is a month earlier, and that is giving you a lot more time. We're not saying you're going to have learners ready to come through the door then, or go onto the shop floor, but it's giving you a bit more time to plan for those learners that are maybe a distinction star learner that you could actually, you know, promote and push forward. They may not, you know, to actually move and stretch and challenge that person. So we look at the synoptic assessment window now for level 3. Now that closes on the 28th of May next year, 21. So that's 2 weeks later than this year. So that's giving you a little bit longer, you know, to get your level 3 learners through their synoptic assignments, which I will reiterate is a trade test. So with that, you know, you've got two extra weeks. Now with the level 2, the window closes on the 11th of June, and that is 4 weeks later than this year. So you've got 4 weeks to get that those level 2s into a to progress or to stretch and challenge those level 2s. And then we have our timetable for exams, the series and the results, and you can find that on the technical web page. That was published beginning of August or the middle of August, and that is there for you to take a look at. So now we're going to look at the landscape for 2021. We look at funding and policy update webinars that Bryony, our funding guru, delivered the other week. She talked about the ILRs, which I know you're all worried about, and the apprenticeship incentive payments for employers. And there's a Kickstart programme. What I have done put on this slide, I've put the go-to webinar that Bryony has recorded from last week. So like I said earlier last week, Bryony recorded this go-to webinar for the 3 topics that we can see on the slide now. So the big thing is the ILR returns for 19 to 20. We've received loads and loads of increased queries from providers and centres. They're really worried. You're all really worried about your ILR returns because they have to be done by October. Many concerned about the COVID on the achievement rates, continuing learners, and those who didn't manage to complete 2019-20. So we need to, they're saying you've got issues that we need to look at. We need to extend the continual courses for 2021 and breaks in learning for non-achievers and clawbacks and reconciliations of loss of funding. Now, that ILR return webinar, this funding webinar is really important. And if you're not anything to do with funding on this webinar, please, 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 when I send you the slides through, send them to your director of funding, because as I said, our funding manager has put a really good package together and tell everybody what they need to know. So then we have the apprentices incentive payment for employers, which is on the 1st of September. The cash incentive for employers, large and small, they were designed to create more high quality apprenticeship opportunities. And that went live. So as part of the government plan for jobs, employers are being offered $2,000 for each new apprentice under 25 they hire, and £1,500 for each new apprentice they hire aged 25 and over. That's only till January the 31st, 2021. And this includes on taking an apprentice who has been made redundant, which is great, maybe they can transfer some skills. But the new cash incentive, it's in addition to the £1,000 payment for all the 16 to 18 apprentices of those aged under 25 with an education, health and healthcare plan. So the incentive payment for hiring a new apprentice is separate to the apprenticeship levy and can be used on anything to support organisational costs, facilities, uniforms, apprentices travel, a salary, lunch, and any organisation can apply for payment, no matter what size or sector, you can apply for payment. Now that's going to bring me on to the Kickstart programme, which is very, very new, and I don't know a lot about it, but Bryony does, and I'm sure we've got some slides where it says information here, here and here, and I'll make sure I get those to you. So the government and the DWP Kickstart scheme went live last week for applications from employers. Now it's not just for England, it's for Great Britain, so it's Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. It's supported by a £2 billion fund to create hundreds of thousands of high quality 6-month work placements aimed at those aged between 16 and 24 who are on universal credit and at risk of long-term unemployment. So the first placements for this Kickstart will be around the 20th of November and will be supported by providers delivering employability skills and other programs to match that. Now this is going to bring me on to something now that I think we're all very aware of, is that because of COVID, will a lot of our centres still be providing apprenticeships. So people are worried about that, and we have an absolutely amazing, well, the government actually, they're giving 33 billion to what they're calling now the new the traineeships. So I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction about the traineeships. I have got a webinar on that I did with Mandy Slaney, our senior industry manager, and Bryony, our funding manager, and I will send that out with a copy of these slides and this webinar. So let's have a look at what we have to offer for traineeships that could be quite good for you guys moving forward. So we have an intro here to the traineeships. It's a flexible part of education. The program is for 16 to 24-year-olds, but 25-year with an education plan can join, and this program will last between 6 weeks and 12 months. As we said, the target group is the 16 to 24, 25 with an education and healthcare plan. Anybody qualified below level 3 can go on this course. It's minimal work experience, but it's focused on the prospects of moving that learner onto an apprenticeship or employment following, finishing that. And the purpose here for us is really to give the young people in our country the skills and experience needed to progress to an apprenticeship or to a sustainable job, if you like, or employment that will help move them forward. So what are the benefits of a traineeship? We are saying it connects the employer with the learner or the future apprentice. They both get to know each other. So it's a bit of a try before you buy for the employer and the trainer, the traineeship who's going to want to get into our industry. Again, there's no it's a low cost to the employers, but again, I would suggest that if they're doing this for you and they're committed, you may want to pay their expenses or you may want to buy them some lunch. It also prepares this young learner for skills in the sector that they want to work in, and it helps give them a head start in when they need to be recruited for future, because they'll be prepped for an interview, which will be really, really helpful for them. Also, the provider, this is an option for learners who cannot find an apprenticeship or who do not want or can't is a word. They just can't do a 2-year course or a year course. It's just too much for them, depending. So it's quite flexible where, we could have somebody at 25 who's got 2 kids, 3 kids, who, can come back. So I think it's always about this flexibility to give them tasters. Again, it provides the traineeships and the employers, providing the traineeships, and can help the employers meet their corporate social responsibility targets, and I'm sure they can. There is a lot of young people out there who need to be given a chance to just prove themselves. And then transferable, whether they are in hair or beauty, or they are going into catering or going into retail, the skills are transferable, and they can come into a traineeship with transferable skills, which is very important. So we look at the basic funding for a traineeship. So if you're 16 to 18, you are funded through the study programme. Anything from 19 to 24, that will come under the adult education budget. And if you'd like more information, please do get in touch with me and send me an email, and I'm sure I'll be able to help you. What I do love about the traineeships is that what we are saying is that a traineeship, so if somebody's on a traineeship who feels like they're just lost, they do get good results. So young people do get good results in these traineeships, and they've not been used as much as they could have been used, really, because we've found that a lot of learners have gone into so many different careers and so many different pathways and have so many different loans because of what they've done. Whereas using this sort of program that the government are offering, 62% of trainees progress into positive destinations within 6 months. And I think that's just amazing. And 75% of destinations, they were still in the same destination a year after that traineeship. So I think for myself, that is something, we need to look at as an industry, because we will be short of hairdressers, therapists, moving forward due to, you know, the COVID situation, lockdown, you know, the sole trader, the, you know, the one-man band, even the big companies who cannot afford to move forward on this issue. So we have some examples. Well, we've got about 6 examples on the website, but for this purpose, I'm just going to show you one example. So it's example 2, and it's hairdressing, barbering, beauty therapy. So basically, they have to do work placement, exploring possibilities, which is great. They do the preparation for training, employability skills. Now that's every traineeship, no matter what you're on, whether it be construction, motor vehicle, business, you will do the core, and that is going to be work preparation, maths and English, and digital skills. And then we break off into the vocational tasters, and I'm going to go into the vocational tasters. And what we're looking at here is 2 suites of qualifications. We're looking at the 3001 and the 3004. And just on this vocational taster, as you can see there, you've got 3 different courses and different TQTs that draw down funding to help that learner move on in their life. So if you want to find out any more, I've got a link here for you. There's fact sheets from all hair and beauty and also other industries, so please share them with colleagues. There are webinars there, and I will share the webinar for the hair and beauty that I've done with Mandy and Bryony. Lots of support tailored for you. All the funding rules are there, how to apply for AEB or study programme money. And you know, Bryony has offered to literally help anybody who wants a one-to-one with her to guide them through this massive journey of change. So the new slide we have here for you is our maths and English slide. I'm not going to talk too much about this. It's for the apprentices, but it's the 2021 update. And we know that maths and English, whether you're on a VRQ, an MVQ, a technical or standard, you know, it's a global challenge. As we can see here, there's 750 million adults. 2/3 of women cannot read or write a simple sentence. So the English and maths has got to be at the forefront. And I'll be honest, our industry board, and Emma mentioned them, Kevin Vorley, if you look at the video, he talks about, hey guys, you might not want to do maths and English, but you know what, you're going to work on a reception, you're going to be calculating your commission, you're going to also be like, how much discount are you going to give that person, blah, blah, blah. You know, how much the English and maths is important in our job when you're measuring out peroxide, measuring out a product to put into another beauty product, very important. And it's a massive challenge in this country. So, you know, City and Guilds, we have worked so hard to make sure that, you know, we can help people, you know, and we've been doing it, as I've said there, for over 50 years, you know, and we just want to make sure that you have as much information possible to move your learners forward. But we also have absolutely 2 brilliant technical advisors. I'm not saying I'm brilliant, but these 2 are. So there's Paul Zini and our lovely, gorgeous Catherine Cooper. Now, they are really dedicated to actually moving functional skills, maths and English forward. So if you want any information, please come through to me, and I'll make sure that Catherine and Paul will get your emails, or you can actually use email here, which is preemployment@cityandguilds.com. And I'm sure Catherine and Paul will more than want to help you move forward with your English and maths. Well, now I can stop talking and have a drink of water, because I'm going to now introduce our guest speaker, Robert Russo. Now, Robert Russo, he is, I've worked with him for many years as a judge in the competitions for the AHT. I will say he's inspirational. He is inspirational, I'm saying. And I love the way he has so much passion for our industry. You know, he's done it all. He's been there. He's worn the t-shirt. But you know what? World skills, you name it. This guy is in it. Now, this year for me, I feel very honoured. Because when I came back from Bermuda, and when I came into teaching, and my children were very young, I joined the AHT. And I'm now a lot older, and I've been made an ambassador this year, and it makes me very proud because over the last few years, I've watched the learners on that competition floor grow, and I mean grow, and I feel they've grown with our technical qualifications. So without further ado, I am going to pass you over to our president of the AHT for hairdressing, and that is Robert Russo.
Hello.
Hello.
Sarah, you're going to put the slides up.
I am.
Well done.
For you now. Just gave you a
better than yesterday. At least I've known how to unmute my.
There we go.
Right. For those of you that don't, it's just a brief overview. The AHT was founded in 1963 by a group of hairdressers who exchanged good practice and support. I can remember when I was a full-time student at what was then Brighton Technical College, I entered the AHT competitions many, many years ago, and actually ended up winning Ladies' Evening Star. We have evolved, and it's not just hair. It was originally AHT as in hairdressers, but now the T stands for therapists because obviously we link with both subject areas. There's an annual seminar, CPD, on update and skills. To be honest with you, this year we are, because of COVID, we're putting this probably on hold, but we are planning to hold one following year. And but our main concern or our main target is the student competitions, which are held annually, and regional heats, and lead to a national final. If you'd like to go on to the next one, Sarah. So we're split into 7 areas at the moment. We've got Scotland, North East, North West, Midlands, Wales, Southern, and I'm pleased to say that after a long absence, we've managed to get together with Northern Ireland. There's a few colleges now that want to get together because I do appreciate that over the years there's been a lot of amalgamations, and so like Northern Ireland have got about 6 centres now, but North, Southern Regional College, etc. They did come over for a couple of years ago. They came over to the Scotland heat, and now they are putting on their first competition, hopefully next year. Thank you, Sarah. Right, so what we've done this year, for those of you that might know or have entered AHT competitions, that the area competitions have always been held in March, and the finals have been held, February, the area heats, and the finals been held in March. One of the things that we are aware of, and we managed actually just by the skin of our teeth to get last year's final in before lockdown finished the following week. But we've always had it in our minds that there's a lot of pressure on staff at the beginning of the year anyway, without sort of like COVID taking place. So this year we've put back, or we've negotiated now that the finals will take place on Sunday and Monday in May. So the area competitions will take place in April. There are membership fees, and there is obviously the website will tell you all about these membership fees. And we've also, obviously, when this awful sort of like COVID situation came on, we actually set up a Facebook page, which was quite heavily subscribed actually, and it was good for sharing, practices, good practices, concerns, etc., both within private training agencies, industry, etc. So anybody, it's still up and running. If you are on Facebook, you can still request to join the AHT Staying Safe in COVID-19. Thank you, Sarah. These are some of the contacts that you can do. One of the things I sort of like will talk about competitions is Through Habia, in the past, I've actually gone out and talked about how you can embed competitions within your curriculum. A lot of people might say, "Oh my God, it's an additional bonus," but what or hard work to actually get people to do it. But what I think a lot of people don't realise is that you're probably teaching or your learners actually the skills. So, for example, this year within the hair and beauty, we have such themes as carnival, robots, 1920s, zoo animals, insects, Halloween. So that it could be, if you look at the rules, if you're looking at delivering a program, you could be delivering something that they not only could they use for their qualification, but they could then use for a competition. For example, those are people that are on media courses. We've got a prosthetics competition where the theme this year is films. I think also, if any of you are aware of UK skills, again, because I am previously the chief expert at World Skills, we do have the UK skills competitions, which unfortunately this year, due to COVID, the November skills competition final in Birmingham has been cancelled. But just an update, in case any of you had already entered for this year, it's been decided that the entry or the passive round what was for 2020 will be the same for 2021. It's quite important, really. Okay, it's a shame that November didn't take place, but next year it is going to be quite important because come November, the skills final in both hair and beauty will decide the squad members that go on to train for hopefully Paris 2023. At the moment, we do have a squad of 3 in hair and I think 3 in beauty that are working towards World Skills next year, which is in Shanghai. So it's giving your students quite, a lot of incentive to travel, etc. So it is important that people are aware of the skills and some of the skills competitions as well. I used to be in FE myself, and I know that a lot of you, you have certain budgets. So again, this year, what we looked at was how could we help organisations to cut down the cost, because obviously, if you get through to a final, which is great, but then you've got the problem of models, accommodation, etc. So this year, quite a few of the competitions can be done on a mannequin head, and I'm sure you've all probably back in your organisations do have these heads so they can be reused. One person can do it for one competition and one for the other. So we have looked at how we can help people with the costs, etc. So that's, for those of you, not sure, but if any of you, for example, are from or cross over into the beauty area, we've tried to make the competitions very more commercial, because this is what we're training our students for, to go out and be commercial within the industry. So, for example, the nail competition this year is that they do a commercial gel. One hand has got to be red and the other has got to be French. So it's something that they will be doing. So again, as like I said before, you're not getting them to train for something that you probably haven't already trained them in your curriculum.
Fantastic. Totally agree with that.
So it's the same with actually World Skills. World Skills has gone, because I started in World Skills in 2003, and it was some of the work that they were asking our competitors to do, you would never actually do in industry. But everybody now is going down the, what is actually being done in industry? Why train or why have a competition for something that they're never ever going to do? It proved its point with our competitor last year in Kazan, which I was involved in the training, ended up getting the bronze medal in hairdressing, and that was a student that the journey, if I can, her journey when she actually entered UK Skills, she'd only ever done about 3 haircuts on a gen, but the potential was there. We could see it. And then, she went through an intensive training course. It's the same with hair and beauty. And for those of you that might be in beauty, for the last 4 competitions, we've won the gold medal in beauty. So we must be doing something correct in our training. I don't know if there's any other slides.
That's now for you, Robert. That's it. So, guys, I just want to say that Denise Johnson is the National Competition Director, and you've got her email on the screen. Yeah. Mark Pawsey is our National Chairperson, and his email's there. We have Jonathan Putt, who's our National Treasurer, email, and we have our lovely Robert Russo, and his email's there. And Robert is more than happy to come out and help any of you, or guide any of you.
Yeah, any questions. As I say, I would encourage you all just to even download or have a look at the competitions, because as I say, I'm sure you can say, oh, well, I'm doing that. I haven't got to do extra work, because I know you're all under so much pressure at the start of this term anyway. And hopefully by us putting the competitions back, it allows you to get over the nitty gritty of the start of term and then think, right, okay, let's do this.
Well, thanks, Robert. I really do appreciate it. To say, I've worked with Robert for quite a while as a judge, and his daughter, Esther, she's one of our beauty IEPers, and she also is a judge of the AHT and World Skills. So, we are connected with the royalty is it royalty? Well, I don't know.
Not hard to say that.
But thank you for that, Robert. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure, and good luck, everybody, with this academic year.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye. So support, City and Girls, what support? I think we do loads of support. We have loads of support for you. We've got everything. So, and it's all on the website, but it's hard to find sometimes. So what I tend to do is send out sort of key emails, key links to documents that you might need that help you. So with Bryony's funding webinar that we spoke about earlier on in the this webinar, I'll send you the link to that, because it's absolutely amazing. But you can hit the cityandgirls.com website to get the updates of the funding. The catalogue is there, and as Bryony will say, it's 99.9% accurate. So thanks for Bryony, as she always updates this document for us. We have webinars that are coming up for you. So we've got one on the 16th, and that is our Welsh webinar. So if anybody is working on the borders, please, join this webinar with us. That is great, because we've got the business manager and Harrod, who will talk about what is going on within Wales itself. We also have a gentleman called David Bassett, who will talk about the AHT in Wales, and Simone Hawkins from ISA Training. She'll be on the webinar with a gentleman who's is an inspiration in hairdressing. So that's going to be quite good. We have our technical qualification support. So anybody who is interested in running technicals and wants a generic overview, that'll be run on the 22nd of September. The 23rd of September, we will have our hair and beauty standards update support. Now, these 2 dates are quite important, because things may change, as Emma said, with all the mitigation and things that are going on. Things may change where we bring more information in there that you may need. On the 1st of October, there's a webinar with Emma Knight and myself. Emma was a technical advisor for hair and beauty, and she's moved over to our digital world. So she's now the guru for digital. So we have a great offer for Get to Gateway, and I'll move on to that later on. We're looking at the 13th of October, where we may have more updates for you with England, all the nations, because we're looking at the nations. But we've got our Scottish industry update on the 14th of October. What I would like to say here is that I have Emma and myself, we really want to get the nations involved. It's England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. So we have got 4 groups set up with chair people. For England, we have the chairperson is Claire Pye from Nelson and Clone College, and we will be discussing with other people mitigations and how we can help move forward and share good practice. For Wales, we have Simone Hawkins. She will move that forward again as England. For Scotland, we have Leslie Ingram, and she will move that forward for Scotland. And for Ireland, we have Tanya Heslip from Belfast Met. So we've got 4 key people in the nations to help move forward and actually shape the webinars that you require for the future. Here's your Get to Gateway with Emma and myself, Emma Kite and myself. It's absolutely great digital learning content program, if you like. It's mapped to the standards. It's a great e-portfolio tool. It keeps apprentices on track. You know, it meets everything. It gets you 20% off the job. So I would like you to join us on the 23rd of September. No, it's not the 23rd of September, excuse me. It's the 1st of October. That is a mistake. I will correct that on this on the slides later. I do apologise for that one. Resources to support hair and beauty. We have amazing resources at City and Guilds. We have our textbooks, and these are the textbooks that we will be using. We're not going to commission anymore at this moment in time, but these are the textbooks. We also have learner journals for technical qualifications. For the new standard, we have our EPA preparation tool. We have the logbooks. We have, like I say, we have the textbooks. We have tutor resources. We have our amazing enhanced smart screen, which I would say that for anybody delivering any form of qualification moving forward would want to take a look at. So speak to your business manager, because they may be able to give you a couple of days free trial to have a look at our enhanced smart screen. As we move over with the digital world and blended learning, it's a great opportunity to sort of invest in something like this that will help you and your assessors, your teachers moving forward. And we also have our digital credentials that we launched with our level 2 hair professional, and they have been absolutely super. And that is something moving forward in the future Emma and myself would like to pursue. Social media, we are big on social media. Join us on, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We've got everything there. You know, we put everything out on social media before anywhere else, because that's our biggest hit. So please do follow us. You know, it's City and Guilds Hair and Beauty or City and Guilds Barbering on the Facebook pages. We, like I say, we put an awful lot of information out on there, and it's really, really important that you try and join us, you know, and make comments, challenge us, do what you like on social media. It's no problem. Now, this is our stay in touch, because it's about staying connected with us. So what we ask is every year, due to GDPR, we cannot keep emails. That is just something we can't do. So if you want to connect with us, we do ask that you go onto our website, scroll right down to the bottom of the page and go to the email updates. And in there, you'll be able to basically put your preferences in. So what do you want information on? It could be functional skills. It might be you've taken over a new position in the college and you're looking after automotive or catering. So you might want information on that. So again, you would hit automotive, catering, and you would get all the relevant information. So it's a fabulous tool that we have there to actually make sure that you get every focus alert and update. And on saying that, here's another one, because from actually updating your email and profile and preferences, you know, we're still looking for applications for the technical qualifications for moderators for media makeup. So northern based. So there's a lot of information on our website. Once you've joined up and you let us know what you want, we can get this information out to you. So think about that. There's technical moderators required northern based for makeup at City and Guilds. And I think now we are just 1 minute over, and I've come to the end. I've been looking throughout And I know I'm on my own at the moment and there are no questions coming up, but if anybody has any questions, please, you know, if you want to pose them, I will try to answer them. Yeah, I've had a couple of people asking to send out the presentation and the recording. I will. I'll send out the slides, the presentation, our newsletter, the rules of combination, anything that's new, and the trainee YouTube webinar, I'll send that out as well. I'm not receiving any more questions on that one. So what I would like to say is thank you for listening to me tonight. Maybe in your time off or at work, but thank you so much. If you need anything, please contact me on the email address and the telephone number on the I think it's the third slide. So you take care, and I look forward to seeing you all in person soon. Thank you.